All right. Good evening. I'm Coach Kara, and this is for our live guest speaker event with Abigail, who goes by Abi Brown. She's here with us tonight to share with us some of her experience. And Abby is a really fun guest speaker to have because she is actually an alum of our Fearless Warrior program. She went through the program with Team 8. So she's been around, she's had the experiences, she's gone through the modules and coaching calls, all things. And now she is playing Division I softball at the University of South Dakota. She's about to start her sophomore year, and she's a catcher. So she's here to share her wisdom and insights about what that's been like all through high school with Fearless and now starting into college with Fearless and how that has helped her along the way. So welcome, Abby. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, so like Coach Carey said, I am a Fearless Warrior alum. I learned so much from the program. I cannot tell you how much I learned, but like she said, I'm a catcher in college, so I can tell you I have been through the ringer when it comes to trying to be a leader and trying to get through a lot of hurdles as a catcher. I know you kind of take on the role of the leader on the field, which can be very difficult at times, especially when you don't have the confidence to do that yet going into your freshman year. So definitely the things that I learned in the Fierce Warrior program helped me kind of get over that hurdle and really kind of take on that leadership role, even though I wasn't probably quite ready for it yet or didn't think I was. So I would just say like the biggest thing that I kind of got out of the Fearless Warrior program was that it's okay to not know everything because I still don't know everything about kind of like mental skills and things like that. I am still learning every single day and trying to grow in that. And so just take in everything you can from this program because it definitely helped me get to where I am today. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice if we ever knew everything?
Yeah, seriously.
I'm closing in on 40 and I'm not there. I'm not there yet either. So I want you to talk more about, so like your high school experience when you were in the thick of the Fearless Warrior program. How did you find the program, first of all? How did you come upon it?
Yeah, so I think my mom found it somehow. She was probably on Facebook and just came by the Fearless Warrior page and kind of signed me up for it that way. I took the program, went through the 6 or 8 weeks, I don't remember how long it was, but it was right after my freshman season of high school was over. And so I had had a pretty rough season. Like I had a really great start to my season. I ended up starting as a freshman and felt super great, was on top of the world. And then I was playing like I didn't have a care in the world. It was great. And then I got scared. And I was like, oh, geez, this is real. Like, I'm actually doing it. And then I got really freaked out, had not so great of an end to a season. And so I was kind of down in the dumps about that and really kind of struggling with the fact that it's like, okay, I know I can do it, but why wasn't I performing the way I should have been? And coaches were kind of feeling the same way. So I was just really frustrated with that. And so my mom knew like, okay, she's getting into high school. She knew I wanted to play in college and club ball was getting a little bit more serious. So I kind of knew, and she knew that I kind of needed some help that she couldn't give me. And so I think she just kind of found it on Facebook one day, was either looking for it or just kind of came across it. And so then she signed me up for it. And yeah, it's kind of how we found it.
That's awesome. That's really great. And so then how did that then help you going into that next season? Like what was that shift that you feel like happened? Because you went on to have a great high school career, right? I saw that you set the home run record, both career and single season run record at your high school. So that's awesome. So how do you feel like Fearless helped you make that transition?
Yeah, so it definitely just helped give me the tools that I didn't have before. So throughout my freshman season, like I would get really frustrated with myself and really anxious about games and just I didn't have a good set of tools to use to kind of help calm myself down, especially in game. Like I would get really freaked out and I still do it. Like my coaches always tell me like, "Hey, I can see it in your eyes." They're like, "You need to calm down." You're like, what's going on?" Like your eyes are this big around. And so it still happens to me, but I do from the Fearless Warrior program, I got a really great set of tools to help kind of calm me down in game and also help me become and kind of learn the kind of leader I was. because I've always been afraid of stepping on toes and just trying to find my leadership role because I've never been one to just be an outright loud leader. Like the only time I was really ever that was in the middle of an inning when I'm catching or when I was a senior in high school. And even then I was still afraid of stepping on like my peer, like my other seniors' toes because like I don't want to make people mad. I'm a people pleaser. I want to make everybody happy. And so I was always a little too afraid to kind of step out and be an outright leader. So Coach AB kind of helped me learn and give me tools to kind of be a leader more behind the scenes and kind of helped me help my team in a way. And so she taught me and kind of coached me through changing the culture of our team because my freshman year it was pretty toxic. It wasn't the best. And granted, I love all those girls. We're always going to be sisters, but there were times where it wasn't the best environment and we just a lot of us would butt heads, we just wouldn't get along and that kind of translated onto the field because then we wouldn't trust each other when we were playing and you could just kind of tell that the chemistry wasn't there. And so talking with Coach AB and trying to figure out ways to help build that chemistry without stepping on any toes definitely helped me become more confident in myself when I was playing because I knew like, okay, my teammates aren't mad at me. Like I'm just doing my thing. They're not frustrated with me. And it kind of helped give me a lot of reassurance when a lot of those things were going through my mind in the middle of a game when it's like, okay, I can't be thinking about if my teammates are mad at me, like there's a runner on first. I need to be thinking about if she's going to steal or not. Like there's 80 million other things that I should be thinking about other than what I was. So definitely helped me kind of refocus my mind and give me a really great set of tools to do that.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love so much of what you just said too. I mean, I love first off talking about leadership, but like not every leader looks and acts the same, and there's value in different leadership styles. And the most important part about it being a leader is being authentic to yourself, right? To be because no one wants to follow someone who's pretending to be like somebody else, right? Like
Yeah,
so being
absolutely.
authentically yourself is huge and helping even you can even lead quietly. You don't have to just always be over the top. What how do you feel like what helped you like find your leadership style? Like how do you feel like for yourself?
Yeah, I would say, and my kind of identity as a leader has continued to change from my sophomore year to now, and it's going to continue to change. But I would say after that initial freshman year, just kind of talking with AB and learning that it's okay to not be a super big flashy leader. Like it's okay to kind of be behind the scenes, and especially I've always been one to kind of like mother other people. I've been described as very motherly. I was described as that by one of my teachers when I was in like elementary school. So I've always wanted to kind of help the girls who are younger than me. So as a freshman, I was the youngest one, but then as a sophomore, there was a new group of freshmen coming in, and it's very, at least in my high school, it was kind of typical that like the seniors didn't like the freshmen. And that is not how it should be in any way, shape, or form. And so I kind of talked to her and we kind of made a plan of how I was going to really make sure that I incorporated those freshmen into like our friend groups and things and just really made sure that they felt like they had a place on the team because that was one thing when I was a freshman, like I didn't really feel like I had a place. Like I had a spot playing, but I didn't feel like I connected with any of the older girls very much, even the sophomores. Like it was just really hard to kind of feel connection between the different age groups and things. And so I definitely know that talking with AB and kind of learning what kind of leader I felt comfortable being, and then also finding the confidence in myself just playing. Like, if you're out there on the field and you're not confident in yourself, and if you can't have the right set of tools to be confident in yourself, then you can't be a confident leader, right? No one's gonna kind of look to you and be like, okay, like, I'm gonna follow her when she's like super down on herself and super not confident in herself. So, I had to find out and find the right set of tools to be confident in myself and confident in the kind of leader that I wanted to be. And then I could kind of start to be like, okay, like I can kind of take these freshmen under my wing and kind of teach them like what it means to be in this team and what our culture is going to be and things like that, and kind of start to change the culture from the bottom up because it's really hard when you're 15 years old to look at an 18-year-old and say, this is how it's going to be. Like that's really hard to do. And it's always going to be harder to look at someone older than you and tell them what to do. And so the way I kind of looked at it was okay, like my senior year, this culture is going to be different. And it might take me 3 years to get there, but I promised myself it would be. And so I definitely took it upon myself and talking to other seniors, we're like, okay, we're going to change this year by year. It might take us a while, like I said, but by our senior year, we're going to, as like we go, all these girls who are going to be younger than us, we're going to teach them what the culture we want and kind of the community we want this team to be. And so talking with AB, and she kind of helped me figure out how to do that and gave me really great tools to do that, to not be super demanding. Because if you're super demanding towards your peers, they're gonna be like, why in the world should I be listening to you? Like, what power and authority do you have over me? You're my age. So it's like kind of leading with grace is kind of the best way that we kind of talk about it. But yeah.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Yeah, and it's not like you recognize, okay, I might not be able to like overtly tell everyone what to do, especially like as a sophomore or as a freshman. But there are things within my power that I can do, and doing those things that are within your power, I think that's huge in being able to be a leadership, and then slowly then that leading by example starts to bleed out into the rest of the team. That's awesome. That's a great blueprint to help people that might be in a similar situation. So let's transition. So you had this high school softball experience, super great. Clearly you have the talent, right? The physical talent. And so then you get to go play Division I softball. Awesome. A great accomplishment. But we see so often that transition from, all-star high school player to college freshman is a really rough one for a lot of people. So what was that transition like for you, and how do you feel like Fearless maybe helped or changed that transition for you at all?
Yeah, I would say that the transition from high school to college is very difficult. You always think that you're going to be prepared and you can train as much as you want. You can play as many games as you want, play on as high of level summer ball team as you want. But you get there and you're never prepared. And I wish I could say that it was all rainbows and butterflies, but it's not. It's really, really hard. But knowing what I know now, I would definitely say that the way kind of Fearless helped me through that was that it gave me a good set of tools when I was at my lowest. I kind of knew how to pull myself out and just try to claw myself out and dig myself out of that hole as like super slowly, because I've never been the person to be like, oh, I just struck out. Oh, I'm gonna get the next one. Like, I got the next one. It's like my brain doesn't work like that. I wish it did. I wish I like if I haven't gotten on base for 6 at bats, I could be super positive about it, but I'm just not going to be. And that took a lot of growth and a lot of learning, that it's okay that I'm not that way. Like not every tactic that you learn from Fearless is going to work for you. But if you can find 2 or 3 that are, it's really going to help change that. And I know Fearless helped, like that. I'd say 2 biggest tools I learned from them was I always talk to Coach AB about the year 2027. That's the year I'm going to graduate college and the year I'm going to be done playing softball. And so for me, that really hits home, because it's like, okay, like I need to play for that senior in college who's not going to get to play anymore. And that's really hard for me, because like softball has been a part of my life forever. Like as long as I can remember, I've been playing softball. And so for me, kind of using that tool, and I would write it like on the inside of my helmet or on my glove or on my shoe or anything like that. And that kind of helped remind me like, hey, like I know you're being hard on yourself right now. I know you just struck out 6 times in a row. Like that stinks and that sucks. But that girl in 2027 isn't going to care, because she's going to look back on all the great memories you had. And so that kind of helped calm me down when I was getting really, really frustrated with myself. And then also the breathing tactics that I learned, those really hit home for me, because self-talk has always been a really kind of hard thing for me to learn. And I'm still growing in it and I'm getting better at it every time and every year. But it's always been super, super hard for me. So that wasn't something that resonated with me a lot. But breathing has always kind of had a soft spot on my heart. Like I get like a really high heartbeat and I get a really high heart rate when I'm playing, because I have a lot of adrenaline going through me, because I'm in every single play and I'm always thinking. And especially my freshman year, it's always like, okay, you want to impress the coach, you want to show them that you can, like, that you deserve to be here, things like that. And so you want to like show your parents that like all the time and money they spent, like it's not going to waste, like I can actually do this, right? And so I would say the breathing tactics definitely helped calm me down when I was in game and when I had that really high heart rate. Because when, like I said before, like all my coaches kind of know that like they can see it in my eyes. They're like, your eyes get this big when like we can tell you're stressed and we can tell you're overthinking. So I definitely kind of learned that the breathing tactics, like the box breathing, is something I love because I'm a very visual person. So when I envision the box, I like envision like drawing a box when I do box breathing. And so that's definitely something that I learned to kind of allow me to just like take a breath, just be like, hey, like we're good. And one thing that I learned at the retreat a few weeks ago, I was a leader at the retreat, and we talking with one of the mental performance coaches there. She always likes to tell us, like, hey, you're not being chased by a lion. Like, you're just playing softball, dude. Like, you're good. And so that's
Yeah.
something I kind of like tied into my breathing. Like, when I take big, deep breaths, I'm like, I'm not being chased by a lion. Like, I'm good. This is just softball. This isn't life or death. Like, we're good. And so, yeah, I
Yeah.
would say, and even like not when I'm playing, when I was just in my dorm room and I was thinking about the game and just getting really frustrated with myself and just way overthinking things when it's like, okay, dude, like that game was 6 hours ago. You can't change it. You can't change the outcome of that game. Like you gotta let it go. And so it was hard for me to like let that go and allow myself to be okay with the outcome of the game and just the outcome of my performance a lot of the times. And so breathing kind of really helped put me at ease and helped me move past that. Because it's like, okay, like after these 5 deep breaths, I'm not gonna think about it anymore. Like I have 5 deep breaths to think about it, but then I gotta let it go. So that was definitely something that kind of helped get me through that. But yeah.
That's so awesome. I love that. I don't know if we teach this as overtly maybe as we should, but like what you said about some of the skills might not resonate with you. That might not be what you personally need. But that's what the beauty is of learning this range of skills. And each skill can reach different people. And so, and maybe even in different situations. Maybe right now you need breathing, and another time you need self-talk, and another time you need other things. But if you learn all of those skills, then you have all of them available to you to be able to help you whenever you need it. So that's super awesome. I'm so glad that helped you. Also, that like it's having those experiences and having those thoughts is not the problem, right? Everybody goes through that self-doubt. Everybody has those confidence issues. Everybody has the failure that they have to work through. And that's not what the issue is, right? That's not what makes you, like, I don't know. Sometimes we think if we need these mental skills, there must be something wrong with us, but that's not actually the case. That it's the mental skills help us with our normal human emotions that everybody goes through. So just because you went through the Fearless Warrior program doesn't mean now life's perfect and you never have struggles, right? Like you still have those issues, but now you have the tools, like you said, that you can like address those things in a healthy way, in a way that allows you to enjoy what you're doing, along with be successful and be able to perform on the field. So that's awesome. So thank you for sharing all that. We'll go ahead and open up. Zoe, it's all you, man. You got any questions for Abby? You want to pop in?
So whenever talking about the breathing, and is there any other things that help you like get over, like if you had a bad game or just weren't having your best day?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say I kind of learned my freshman year of college that I'm not very good at talking to other people about like my feelings after a game. Like if people ask me like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like, I'm fine. I'm good. Like just had a bad day. It's whatever, you know? And so that can be really dangerous, and it definitely kind of learning that about myself allowed me to kind of get those feelings out in other ways. And so I realized very quickly that I didn't really like to talk to people about things, and especially not about the people, like talk to the people who are closest to me, which is really hard because it's like those people love me. They're always going to be here for me, like my parents and my roommates and things like that. But it's like I never wanted to allow them to see me hurting and see me like struggling like that. And because I've always put on like this very tough front and like all that kinds of things. But when I'd have those really bad days and stuff, I would give myself like a certain amount of time. So a lot of times I'd kind of start at like, okay, you have 2 hours to be angry and think about it and be frustrated with yourself. But then after that, you got to let it go. So I would either work on homework, I'd listen to music. I'm a Christian, so I a lot of times would pray about it and just kind of like allow myself to just like give it to God and be like, hey, like you take this because I can't take this anymore. Like this is breaking me down. Like I need someone to take it off my shoulders. And a lot of times he was kind of the only person who I would go and talk to about that. So like I said, I would give myself a certain amount of time, and then as I got better at letting it go after that time, I would make that time smaller. So then I would go from 2 hours, I'd go to like an hour and a half, and then an hour, then a half hour, you know. And then I'd be like, okay, you have the bus ride. You have the bus ride back from wherever we were playing to the hotel, or the bus ride to the airport, whatever it was. Like you have that amount of time to think about it. Then it's like, okay, dude, you gotta let it go, because no one wants to be around you when you're crabby. No one wants to be sitting next to you when you're crabby on a flight, right? On a 2 hour flight back home or whatever. So I just really had to remember and just kind of tell myself like, okay, you can't have this time to be angry, because like I said before, I'm not like a super duper positive person when I'm struggling. Like I need to feel that struggle. I need to feel that kind of hurt, but then I can't let it build for too long, because a lot of times, especially when I was younger, I would really let it build, and then it would just all come out at once. And that's when like you'd have that breakdown or just like that really frustrated moment, and like I'd take it out on my parents sometimes. Mom's like, okay, dude, like I know you're not mad at me, but like what's going on? Right. And so kind of giving myself that certain amount of time helps me really let it go and not kind of explode like I was doing in high school and stuff like that. But yeah, great question. I love it.
Got any more, Zoe?
Um, I don't think so.
We gotta ask her about her pregame meal, right? Isn't that like what we always ask?
Yes.
Yeah, what do you like to eat before a game?
Okay, I would say if it's breakfast, a lot of times, especially if we're in a hotel, my go-to is I'm not a big fan of like hotel eggs, and I'm really picky with my eggs, so I never had eggs, but it was always some kind of like sausage or bacon, and then I'd have yogurt. I got really into yogurt in the past like year and a half. I don't know why, but I love it. And so I would say yogurt. If they had granola, I'd put some granola in it, and then either like a pancake, waffle, or I would do like a biscuit with honey. That was a big thing I would do when I was in travel ball, because we'd constantly be traveling, always in hotels, right? And I
Yes.
never like to eat a lot before my games, because a lot of times with travel ball, we only had like 45 minutes to warm up. So I didn't want to be like super full before my game. But in college ball, we have a lot more time, so I can eat a little bit more before games. But I loved biscuits and honey. Like that was just my go-to. It always has been since I was like 12. So I would say my biggest pregame meal is like biscuits and honey, and then some kind of like protein. Yeah.
Awesome. Sounds good. Makes me hungry. Um, okay, well, Zoe, if you don't have any questions, I can ask you our last question that we like to ask everybody. And that was, if you were a time traveler, or if you're a time traveler and you could go back and give a message to your former self, so maybe high school Abby, maybe 9-year-old Abby, whatever past version of yourself, what would you tell yourself if you could go back in time?
I'd probably tell myself, just whenever, if you just make a bad throw or anything, really you do something bad, to not get mad at yourself and to just lift yourself back up, because when you bring yourself down as a team leader, then it's going to bring the whole team down when they see you getting upset at yourself, and they're going to want to get upset at themselves. So just keep uplifting yourself even if you aren't having your best day.
Love that.
Awesome. Great advice, Zoe.
So
What about you, Abby?
Okay, that was hard for me. So Coach AB asked us this at the retreat a few weeks ago, but I would say the biggest thing I would go and tell like little me, like little like 9-year-old Abby, like just starting softball, I would just say to just tell her to have fun. Like I always like to tell myself like play like you're 9 years old again. Like once you get into high school, once you get into college, it starts to become a lot more serious. But it's a game. Like I would just tell myself like enjoy it. Like enjoy when you fail. Like you're going to fail. Sadly, this sport is a game of failure, and that stinks, especially for me. I'm a perfectionist. I like to do things perfect, and I can't in softball. And so I would just tell my little self to just go out there and have fun and play like you're 9 years old every time you step on the field. No matter, I'm turning 20 this year, so no matter if I'm 20 years old or if I was like back when I was 12, like just play like you are when you're 9. Because you see like those T-ball kids, they're just out there having the time of their life, right? And so I would just say play like I'm in T-ball again. Just go have as much fun as I can and soak up everything that I can.
That's awesome. It's great to like both look backward and forward, right? You look forward to that 2027 and play for that girl, and then you also look backward and for that 9-year-old girl and play for that girl. Like those two bookend versions of yourself that would just be love to be exactly where you are right now. Right?
Yes,
That's so
absolutely.
awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for this. This was so awesome. Thanks for sharing all of those insights, all your wisdom. We're so happy that you're part of the Fearless family and just killing it at that next level. So wish you the best of luck this season. I'm sure it's going to be a good year, a good sophomore year, and you're going to kill it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I love being a part of the Fearless family. I'll always be a part of that family. So I'm very grateful to have gone through the program and been able to learn all that I did. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome.